Hello, Devlin Bishop here with you, and welcome to another edition of Devlin's Pirate Radio Show. And, well, what can I say? Summer is here. Yes, I know some people look at the calendar and they use the calendar date of June, whatever it is, 20th, 21st, something in there. But for me, Victoria Day weekend has always been summer. May 2/4, that is the weekend, and for me, that's when summer begins. I know I have a very short spring in my world, but you know what, it's just the way I am. I measure a lot of things through when I was young, so like the start of the year is usually September for me. It's just the way I've always been. And we're going to talk a lot about summery stuff or things relating to the summer today, just to get us ready for the season ahead of us. And I'm going to start with this set with just some tips. And these aren't like groundbreaking tips for you to get out there and enjoy summer. Now, I know some podcasts probably be, giving you barbecue tips and, tips of gardening and stuff like that. But if anybody knows me, I live in an apartment. I can't barbecue. We do have a little grill and stuff. And gardening tips, well, mowing the lawn, stuff like that, I'm glad if that's your thing. And by all means, do what you love. But I live in an apartment because I have no interest in that kind of stuff. Nature and me are we're compatible. I love it. I love the concept of it, but we don't always go hand in hand together. I'm being absolutely honest here. Yeah, I like to get out there, and that's my first tip, in fact. It's summer. Get out there and enjoy it. I know it's not everybody's favorite season. I think summer's probably the majority. I think most people like summer, but the truth of the matter is there's some people that don't like the excessive heat. I'm not a big fan of the heat, but I love summer. But I don't like the heat as in at night when it's hard. But that doesn't stop me from getting out there. Just because, there's so much to do, whether it just be, go for a hike, take a walk, just get out there, do some, window shopping, whatever you want to do. It's just, summer is about getting out there. And whether you're just going from here to a air-conditioned movie theater, just go out and find stuff to do. There's something for everybody. And yeah, sure, finding it is always a trick, but there is lots to do out there. And I think try to be in the sun as much as possible. Even if you're in the sun but like looking for all the shady areas, or if you've got a big brimmed hat on. I just think sometimes just getting out there and just feeling the heat is just so therapeutic and stuff. And on that note, I'm also going to move to my next tip and wear sunscreen. Whether you're tanning, like you're a person who looks absolutely awesome with a tan, I recommend you wear sunscreen even if you're just wearing like a tanning lotion or something like that, or something protective. Me being a ginger, well, I used to be a ginger. My hair's gotten a little darker, and in the summer it's probably going to get lighter. But yeah, I need sunscreen, and I used to get burned all the time, and then a couple of, I would say about 10, 15 years ago, I finally said, that's it. I'm wearing sunscreen, and I think it was one of the best decisions I made, because there's nothing worse than when you get that sunburn, and you're trying to find comfortable places to sleep because of that. The sun is our friend. Somebody once said that. I don't know. It's a famous quote, I believe. But it's one of those friends that sort of likes you, but at the moment that is right, it also tries to attack you. And, as much as a nice tan looks great, it doesn't look so good when you get older and your skin starts looking like leather luggage and, you've got deep creases. Now, hey, some people look good with that look. But, I don't know. I just think, for me, sunscreen is a necessity. That doesn't mean everybody has to wear it. These are just my little tips. And if you want to have a bad sunburn and listen to my podcast with some irony, well, that's your business. Go out and do active things. This is probably funny. I've probably got a couple of close friends thinking, look who's telling us to be active. But I do actually try to get out there and do a couple things. It doesn't have to be like, running a marathon or anything. Hey, if you do that, that's awesome. But, it's great to just get out there and just work your muscles in the weather too. And, if you're worried about, I can't, the heat's just too much. Well, just remember, early in the morning, or later in the evening when, it starts cooling down and the sun's coming down, you could just go for a walk or, throw the football around in the park or, a friend of mine, Gary Reed, one of my former co-hosts here, we like to go out at least once a year and play some bocce ball. And, my friend Dave and I, we've been known to go out and throw the frisbee around, yeah. And, I'm getting up there in age. Well, I'm no old senior citizen or anything like that, but I still enjoy playing frisbee. And you know what? Even just a nice brisk walk or a hike, it's just, I don't know, it's all therapeutic, and you become one. Make friends, with people who have a pool. No, sorry, that was my original cut. Now it's supposed to just read, go out there and make friends. If they have a pool, hey, that's great. You guys must think I'm so horrible right now. Yeah, you know what? No, what I mean by that is, there are a lot of groups out there and stuff, and maybe if you've been putting off, joining something, why? Go out there and make new friends. Meet new people, even if you don't, well, I have my capacity of friends right now. Well, it never hurts to meet one more person. I have met so many people through all the different stages of my life. And I've taken one or two of them along with me for the ride. And they've been nice enough to let me into their hearts. And I really think it's a big part of what makes me me. And in the summer, there are a lot of different clubs out there, whether, you're pitching horseshoes or, there's just lots of different stuff out there, and it doesn't have to be a physical thing. There's a lot of social groups out there. You just got to go out there and look. The same as, I always laugh when people are shocked when I know so much of what's going on in my city. I probably don't even know, like, a big chunk of what's going on in my city, but I'm lucky enough that I know a lot of people in the arts and in music and in comedy and stuff that I do tend to know stuff going on. And on my Facebook, I like to post if I have like people I know or just people, that are doing something or even just something that I think looks really fun. Like I like to go to that, I forgot what they call it. I think it's like a Midsummer Night's Dream Festival where you go and you run around and you throw powder at each other and they play psychedelic music. And I went to that once. I was hoping to go to it again last year, but it rained and I heard that stuff stains and I'm a wuss when it comes to that. But, I tried something new that year and it was just absolutely fun. But, so I'm lucky because I know a lot of people in theater and I know a lot of people in, just from the staircase, I've met so many people. So, when I see their Facebook listings, yeah, I know when great comedy events are coming up. I know when people are doing plays. But you know what? It makes me laugh when people are so naive to it because there's always some place you can find this stuff. In Hamilton, we have like View magazine. We have a couple other publications. I want to say Urban City. I think that's in the Hamilton area and stuff. And there's lots of places online you can look. Lots of Facebook places and stuff. And, just keep track, of things you see out there. If you're out, like maybe doing an art crawl, that's something we do the second Friday of every month here on James Street in Hamilton. There's so many things posted around, that stop and read some of these posters or bulletin boards. Because, if going out and doing, summer activities isn't your thing, well, there's lots of, art stuff out there. Whether it be, craft festivals or comedy nights with stand-up or sketch or improv, or just anything. The Fringe Fest. In all major cities, the Fringe Fest is usually, unless I really don't know, is usually in the summer. And the Fringe Fest is where you get to see a whole bunch of plays, everything from drama to comedy to surreal, just about anything. And basically you could go to this, and you can either buy separate tickets, you buy a button, and the button gets you into all these things, and you pay extra. But the button goes to the festival. I hope I'm saying this right. And then all the money you pay goes right to the artists. So it's a really wonderful thing. And it's usually about a week long. It might be a little longer. And you get to see so many fantastic shows by independent artists from either locally or sometimes they come in for it. And it's just a wonderful thing. I believe you can also buy passes where you can just go to see as many shows as possible. Now, don't write me into that. But anyhow, all you have to do is pick up a View magazine, or I'm sure in every city and town there's some kind of publication, or just play around the computer and you'll find something and you will be up to date with everything. Or you could just befriend me and I'll post as many things as I can that I think look interesting. Yeah, I said that. I'm a whore for more friends on Facebook, Another tip, have a Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Now, in no way am I recommending that you pull a sickie when you see a beautiful day, one of those mornings where you're like, yeah, this is a thing. I can't really recommend you do that. Not to mention, I don't want somebody, listening to this that I may one day work for and they might think, is he really sick? So I am not promoting that. But what I am promoting is just pick a random day on the calendar and, whether it's by yourself or with a friend or with your spouse or with your partner or whatever. And what you can do is just pick that day, whether it's rain or shine, and you're just going to do whatever on that day. Whether you choose to go out and explore some touristy things, or whether you just want to just, hang around at home and do some stuff that you in the summer we always get backed up on or something, and you want to do some gardening or something, do that. So, I'm not recommending you call in sick one day, but, book a day and just deal with whatever it brings you. This one I think is a really good one because I notice talking to friends when I'm like, oh yeah, we should figure out a time to do that. A lot of people always tell me, well, it's the summer. My weekends are getting quite full. And I'm no different. I know when the summer comes, everybody's got, a party or a get together they want to do or something. And, especially you people with kids, I don't know how you guys do it. I've talked to people who said, oh, I think we have a kid's birthday party and every day, every weekend. And I just think to myself, that just sounds like absolute hell to me. That your summers has to go to just giving every moment to a different kid from class because you can't offend anyone. Don't be afraid to say no every once in a while or say you have something else planned. But the tip isn't me telling you not to have kids. I am not saying that, no way. And hey, if you like the birthday parties, then go for it. My tip for that one is don't book every weekend. We tend to do that. But you should have a weekend to keep free because sometimes you get an offer to do something. And then as we get closer to that date, we get a second offer that maybe you'd want to do more. So I'd suggest that you keep just a couple of weekends or even just one and don't book anything and then deal with it when it comes. If nothing else comes up, then you can use that free weekend to take your family, go out with friends, go do something yourself, whatever the case is. But, just trying to fill up your calendar just so much, take some time for yourself and just run with it. This is something this is my last tip, and if you were looking for barbecue or gardening tips, I'm sorry, but I'm not Martha fucking Stewart, and she and tons of other people have podcasts about that, so if you look for that, I'm sure you'll find it. Summer to me is a great time to reconnect with people you don't see that often. It doesn't have to be a big, elaborate get-together. If you want to throw a barbecue and invite some old friends, that's great. You want to throw a party, that's fine. But why not just call somebody that suddenly you think about them and think, boy, I haven't seen that person in a while. Summer's a great time because, there's so many things you can do. You can, do some, just little light shopping, go to a farmer's market and, have a nice laugh. Sometimes it's nice just to chat and stuff. Or an outdoor cafe, it's patio weather if you want to go have a drink, So why don't you call up some of those friends or maybe even family that you don't see too often and reconnect. And that always puts a smile on my face when I get to see somebody I don't get to see too often. And I think the sad thing is in our lives, we sometimes just say, oh, I guess that person doesn't really ever want to see me and stuff like that. And then I always ask, well, did you call them? Have you made an effort? Because I find that the people who do want to spend time with me, they'll do it. I'll send some dates. If they can't do them, they usually send some dates back. And eventually, you can find something. Because it only has to be something like going out for a coffee for an hour. Or let's hit the patio, have a few drinks, whatever. It doesn't have to be things. You can even invite them over to your house and stuff. But as I get older, I don't chase people. As, it's sad when you see things fall apart with friendship. And I'm sure I'll talk about this in future shows. But this is the summer show, and I'm not going to go into it too much. But I always find that the people who do want to spend time with you will make the effort. If you can't find a date, you counteract. You keep going until you find one, and then when you find something that's makes everybody happy, you want to do it. When you start sending dates and people hum and haw and they don't, that's usually a good indication that either they really don't want to see you, your Facebook statuses are quite enough in their life, and that's it. And it's sad to see, but you know what? Don't waste your time with those people. Don't. Why should you? Your time is precious, and I can guarantee you that there's probably 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe tons more other ones that do want your time. Why don't you spend it with those people? Anyhow, they're not groundbreaking summer tips. I never promised that. But I think if you follow them, or follow some of them, I think you're on your way to having a really great summer. Anyhow, I'm going to take a short break, and then I'm going to be talking about something I can really relate to. Getting your hot body ready for summer. Okay, maybe I can't relate to that part of it, but I can talk about it, and I'm going to do that right after this break. We are back, and we are here with our kind of Welcome to Summer show, where we are looking at things, talking about summer-type things. And as I said, as the temperatures go up and the sun shines brightly, it's time for that time where it just becomes, the world becomes a skin show, I like to call it, because suddenly layers of clothing are being pulled off. We start seeing legs, we start seeing arms, chests. People are getting ready for the beach, and I'd like to thank all the beautiful men and women who like to share as much as they can, because I enjoy looking. And I know that's probably not politically correct, but hey, after, seeing everybody in big bulky clothes, it's nice to see a little bit of skin in that. But for those of you who know me, I am a bigger man. I've always been on the husky side. Husky, that's what we used to call it when we were kids. There was a husky section for us bigger boned people. And with summer comes that feeling, and I may be speaking a little bit for the bigger people out there. I know there are some people who are larger that have not got a problem showing flesh. You see them pushing themselves into those little tight little bike shorts, and their bellies are sticking out and stuff. And you know what? Hey, I'm a person who, everything can be beautiful. Now, I personally wouldn't necessarily go out there with my stomach hanging out, but I do know that there are going to be times that I'm going to go maybe off and swim in a lake, or, hit a beach, or maybe be asked to go to a pool, and I know that moment where I take my shirt off is going to come. And I don't know, I just want to talk a little bit about, body beautiful type thing. I'm actually not as freaked out as people might think. Younger, yeah, that was a nightmare, going to, a beach and knowing I'd have to take my shirt off. I wasn't one of those fat kids that, left their t-shirt on. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just never did. But, as I get older, I just kind of say, this is what God gave me to work with. I do try to lose weight. I don't like to announce it when I do. I try to do like some exercise. I'm kind of doing it right now, and I guess I am announcing that I am. And I never tell people when I'm going to diet, just because I think that is an absolute nightmare for me. I know a lot of people that have weight difficulties, and I love seeing on Facebook when I see that they're making progress and they're getting out there and doing activities, or changing up their lifestyle with a new diet. And I am so proud of you guys for doing that. And then some people, they'll just blatantly write on their Facebook statuses, this is my diet plan, this is my goal. And power to you if you do that. Me, I could never do that in a million years. And the reason why is because I never like to announce when I'm dieting, because with my luck, I'm at a party or something, and I decide, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to have cake. And then suddenly I'm eating cake, and somebody's giving me that look because they know I'm on a diet, because I've mentioned it. And that's why I don't tell people when I'm trying to lose weight. Because if I want that cake, I'm going to have that cake. And I don't want judgmental faces. And that's why I'm always surprised when people are always announcing it. But you know what? That's their lifestyle. Maybe they want that. Maybe they want that shaming. But that would only make me eat more. If suddenly, somebody took a picture of me and I'm stuffing my face down, with, really bad junk food just because I feel like it. And somebody grabbed a picture of it and stuck it on Facebook. And I had just posted a status about, I'm really working hard on my diet, And that would not shame me. That would actually just make me go and look for a bag of Oreo cookies and eat it. Because I'm a stress eater. My mother was always, if you're having a bad day, here, have a cookie. Oh, you did well at school, here, have a cookie. And I'm not blaming my mother for my weight. I'm just saying that I translate bad eating judgment choices on dealing with stress or anything like that. Love. When I don't feel loved, I know I'm going to feel loved if I open up a bag of chips and polish them off. But anyhow, I am so proud because there are so many of my friends that are going out and doing it. And I know it's a lifestyle choice, and I'm not ready to make it a lifestyle choice. When I go through the phases of trying to lose a little bit of weight, I have these great ankles that they start hurting me when my body starts telling me, okay, chubby is one thing, but you're getting bigger. And then my ankles tell me, what the hell are you doing up there? And that's usually when my body tells me, okay, I gotta lose a little bit of weight and stuff like that. Yeah, my ankles, they're the ones who tell me. And, and then I will. But as I said, I try not to make proud declarations. And even though I just said that I kind of am right now, I think I kind of always am. I'll break down proportions. I'll break down, lots of, I'll try to add exercise. I'll do my own dancercise around the house, which I'd be really embarrassed if people saw that. Because sometimes if it's a nasty day out and I can't go for a walk or something like that, I will just put on some great pop music, disco, dance, and I will just run around like a nut until I'm sweating. And yeah, I know some of you are thinking you should film that and make that a workout, but no, I think that it would make probably America's Funniest Home Videos, but more than that. But you know what? It feels good. But you know what? I'm so proud of the people that are losing weight, and I have a lot of respect for the people who work on their body. I'm not one of these people that put down people that are good looking. Like, oh, look how skinny she is. That's, oh my God, does he spend all his time in the gym? No, I really respect a beautiful body. Now, for me, a beautiful body can be all shapes and sizes. Because, it's great that you're doing it for health reasons. It's great. But you know what? I've met some very beautiful people, men and women, that are big, because they transcend something. And, it's always nice to see people trying to get healthier, but sometimes I think to myself, I wish more people would spend time on their personalities. Because I've met some really beautiful, muscular, sexy men. And then you spend 10 minutes with them and think, oh, they don't have a personality, they don't charm, they have nothing. And then, at the same weight, I could be talking to a 400-pound guy that maybe at first I don't think is attractive. Spend a couple minutes with them, getting to know them, and think, wow, this guy's a big cuddly bear. And, I know really big women that are absolutely beautiful because of what they project, the confidence that they have. Yeah, I'm fat, but who cares? I can do that. And I think we've come to a world of shaming, and it's not just the big shaming. I think it's horrible when they put out these memes and stuff on Facebook where it's like, this is beautiful, and then they show these curvy, big women, and then think that the smaller, supermodel-y types are, disgusting. Well, you know what? That's not right, too. To put somebody down to make us feel better, that's just not right, too. That's like reverse discrimination, and I hate that. At the end of the day, I think it's great. Whatever you want to do is perfect. If you are at the point that you think, I need to lose some weight, I need to change my lifestyle, because I do believe, you have to make a big effort to lose weight. I'm not ready to go there yet. I can do little things, and that's going to have to be good enough for me. The reason I won't change my lifestyle is because I don't have a lot of other vices. I don't smoke. I don't smoke pot. I don't take drugs. I don't drink. I, may have a social drink once in a blue moon. I honestly don't think I've even had one. I may have had a little champagne on New Year's, and that's about it. But I just don't drink. And so my only outlet is junk food. I'm sorry. I said it. But it really is. And if I want to eat a cookie, but, I try to cut my portions down. I do try to not always go for the horrible things. I've cut down drinking pop a lot. I did go through, I will not lie, I did go through in some ways I think pop is almost my alcoholic binge, because, I could imagine alcoholics when they've, don't drink anymore, that feeling they get when they see a drink and they have to fight it. Well, with all the stress I was dealing with early in the day, I know one of my big things was I had cut down on pop quite a bit, and I was actually starting to lose a lot of weight just by doing that one little thing. But I started hitting the sauce. Yeah, hitting the sauce. Pop again, and again, it's a comfort food. When I saw it, I'd just be like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And I know I went a little overboard, and I'm back down to cutting it, and I get the monkey nerves when I see somebody drinking pop and stuff. And I'm not saying I don't drink pop. I've cut it down, when I go to restaurants, or something. When I go to people's houses, I'll have a pop. It's kind of like a reward thing. But, I think it's great, that the people who have made such an effort and they're losing it, I personally love you either way. I want you to be happy. So if making the change in your life to lose weight, I'm there for you. If you're like, fuck it, this is me. If you don't like it, that's it. Then I love you still for that. As long as you're a good person, that's all I care. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Yeah, if I had killer abs, number one, I would be wearing like tight shirts. I'd probably be shirtless for most of the time. I've always said if I was a woman, I would probably walk around topless if I had nice tits. Yeah, I'd probably be very slutty. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I think that would be me. I think I'd be kind of ladylike, but then I'd be a little slutty on the side. It was kind of like two girls in one if I was a woman. But yeah, if I had a beautiful body and I worked at it and stuff, I would just be like, yeah, look at these, baby. And I always say, if I did have a beautiful body, then I'd be hell to live with. I would be, because, then I'd be the full package. I have personality, I have brains, I have compassion, and on top of that, I got washboard abs. Look at this. So I sometimes joke that I don't lose weight because I would be hard to live with. But I know, it's not that funny, but I think it is. And I think it's true. That's why I say it. But you know what? I like the summer because you get to see all shapes and sizes. I think there should be, it's great when you see people who have the confidence to wear certain outfits. But sometimes those outfits just aren't flattering to that person. And I think there should be kind of I wish people had a little bit more of a compass on what looks good on them and that. Because, I do know a lot of bigger people that can dress really nice. But then you see people that are stuffed into, sizes that are way too small for them. Things that are hanging out that really shouldn't be hanging out as much as they are. But, at the end of the day, I'm still going to take off my shirt and, hey, this is what God gave me, or whoever, for you people who don't believe. But you know what? I gotta make do with what I have, and, I do my best. I do some weights. I have a exercise bike that I get on regularly, and I should get on a little more regularly, and I will do what I want to do. But as I said, I wish they'd take people at the gym, and some of them, I wish they... You know what else is a lifestyle change? Is not being a horrible person, I hate that I have to give up all the foods and pop and stuff I love, and then people get to still be assholes. That's a lifestyle change too. To decide not to be an asshole anymore. And I hate that I have to work on that because people, might not want to see me in a tank top. But I have to put up with you being an asshole, so you can look at a little bit of my flab, because at least I'm a good person inside. And this rant is just getting out of control. I need to go hit the beach, show off what beauty God gave me, and enjoy all the beauty that's out there and all the shapes and sizes and all the beautiful people out there. And I don't care if you're thin or muscular or you're big boned or whatever you want to call it. If you are a good person to me, I will be a good person to you. And I will want to hang out with you more. Because as much as I'd love to surround myself with an apartment filled of gorgeous, gorgeous, ripped guys, if they bore me because they can't hold a conversation or just are mean to people or just assholes, I'm going to get really sick of them fast. Because I want someone to make me laugh. I want somebody that can sit and talk with honestly and stuff like that. So, what I'm trying to say is basically, if you're having trouble losing some weight, as I said, if you're on a plan and you're doing well, I salute you. But don't beat yourself up. Keep trying if that's what you want to do. But learn to love yourself. Yes, it might take a while to lose those pounds. And if that's what you really want, then go out and do it. But keep in mind there's so much more than just the body. There's your spiritual side, your sensitive side. There's the persona that you give off, your confidence. Don't let your body trap you in the person you are. So don't beat yourself up if you don't look great at the beach this summer. Go out there and just say, you know what? I'm not there yet, but I'm going to go enjoy myself and just go out and live my life. And do that for yourself. Don't do it for anyone else, but for yourself. Because if you are a good person, you're going to find people who will want to be around you. And it doesn't matter what you look like. They will see the beauty on the inside. Anyhow, that's my ranting for the day. I'm going to tell some stories to end things off. Stories with one common thread: fireworks. We're back, and you're listening to the Devlin's Pirate Radio Show. The Devlin, like I'm going to start calling myself that now. I am the Devlin. What would you like? Anyhow, it's Devlin's Pirate Radio Show, not the Devlin. And we are here on our kind of hello to summer, and with it being Victoria Day weekend, one of the things that I kind of most think of is fireworks. And, being a Canadian, doesn't matter what long weekend in the summer it is, you're going to hear fireworks going off somewhere in the city. And I know this weekend there will be a lot of that going on too. And I love fireworks, but I'll be honest with you, they scare the hell out of me. And it wasn't always this way, but, I don't know, as an adult, I've seemed to have gotten a lot of fears, and maybe a lot of it comes from my childhood, but, yeah, they're so beautiful, fireworks, Everybody likes a good fireworks show. But they're scary. They are explosives, are they not? So, yeah, there should be a little more caution when using them. My first introduction to fireworks, I used to live when I was growing up on a wonderful street called Fife Street. And it was a wonderful street because it was just this one little street, and there were so many kids on it, pretty close to my age. They pretty much ranged to younger to like teenager. And, the teenagers would hang out, the preteens would hang out, and it was just an amazing place. And sometimes we'd all hang out together, including our families. And Victoria Day weekend was definitely one of those times, because we'd all buy fireworks. And back then, we're looking at the 70s, early 80s, and there was a lot of green in neighborhoods. Not like today when you go to a neighborhood and it just seems like everybody's got a driveway. This is going back to the time that there was maybe 2-3 people that had driveways and everybody else had lawns. So we knew this family, the MacLeods, they actually had one of the first driveways in the neighborhood. And we would go over to their house and everybody would bring some fireworks and we would all sit and watch them. And, they'd light them off and stuff. And I remember the parents would always be having a drink up on the porch. And then we would sit on like this, cement planter. There was almost like a seat bench. And then there was plants behind it. And we were literally only a few feet away from the fireworks. Now, this is kind of going back to the day when I wasn't really afraid of them, Give me a sparkler, and we'd always start with sparklers. That was always like the firework appetizer, where you would light them and, wave them around. And I remember back then, and I don't think times has changed that much. We used to just kind of whip them around, try to spell our names with them. I swear you're sticking them in people's faces and stuff. And I think that still happens. They kind of freak me out now, too, and I think they freaked me out when I was a child, too. If you give me a sparkler now, I love looking at the sparkler, but you will see that I will literally hold it as far away from my face as possible. It's not an ego thing. I'm not trying to save my beautiful face. I don't want it to catch on fire in my clothes. I don't want anything. I don't want to deal with this. So anyhow, after sparkler time, we'd all gather on the planter, and the parents are all having their beers and stuff. And then somebody would start lighting them off, and we'd see them really close. And, I always remember the feeling in my head going up and watching them. And when I was a kid, yeah, if you didn't hear me for a minute, my head literally, I was backing up. So I might have got far from the microphone. But I have a loud, booming voice, so you probably didn't miss anything. So anyhow, and you'd watch them, and I just remember how amazing they looked, the colors. And you'd always wonder if it was going to be a dud, and everybody would be going, oh. And then when it was a really good one that just kept going and going and going, you'd just be like, woo, yeah, yeah. And then I remember they'd bring out the burning schoolhouses, which were absolutely nothing, pretty much. They were just this little schoolhouse. They probably still have them. But you'd just light it and burn, and because it was Victoria Day weekend, we knew we only had a couple of, this was back in the days when we had literally 3 months off for the summer. And basically we'd light the schoolhouse and it would light up on fire and then it would burn to the ground. It wasn't even that exciting, but the kids just liked the symbolism of it all, and we'd just be like, woo, school's almost over. And, it was a bit silly and campy, and it warms my heart to no end thinking about the days on Fife. And then, when I got older, I was probably in my early 20s, we went to Gage Park when they used to blow off fireworks, and, they were amazing. And I remember we were walking home to my brother and sister-in-law's house, because they were just a couple of blocks away from it. And we actually walked by somebody doing it in an abandoned, little field. And they were just blowing off their own. And while we walked by, they didn't properly secure one of the fireworks. And it actually fell. And I remember it zooming across the lawn and just blowing up on this woman. Now, she didn't get hurt. She had a little bit of fire, but they put it out, and, there was a whole bunch of people running to see her, so we didn't know what was going on. I don't believe any ambulances came, so if she did go get some medical help, she was able to walk to it. But that night, I really got paranoid about fireworks. And as much as I loved them, I thought, wow, these are dangerous things. And I remember reading up on about them and hearing about horrific firework factory explosions. Now, first of all, I hope I'm not being a downer for anybody who's looking forward to blow some off this summer, because I'm just telling you my stories, okay? So, anyhow, I started after hearing about how quickly a factory could go up with fireworks, because one would set off the other, and then the other, and then the other, and then you just got explosions all over the place, that I started looking at fireworks in a different way. I thought they were still beautiful. You know, I'd still go to the Symphony of Fire. I don't know if they do that still, but Ontario Place used to blow off the big things. But now I was aware that these were dangerous. You know, I always kind of knew before, but now I really knew. So now I knew that I was going to love fireworks, but they're going to freak the hell out of me when I watch them. And probably one of the nicest places that I ever got to see fireworks blown off were friends of ours lived at, they had a cottage. They didn't live there. They had a cottage at Long Point. And they used to invite all the improv people for something called Yaber Day, or Yaber Day. I could never say it properly, but it was a fun weekend where improvers came up and we just all had a great time. And on the Sunday, there was a beach, a little bit of a walking distance, and they would just blow an amazing amount of fireworks off on the beach. And honestly, you know, the Symphony of Fire had all the music, and of course, $1 million was the spectacle. But there was just something really intense and almost romantic about seeing them so up close while you're on the beach watching them. Unfortunately, though, it's hard for me to enjoy that romanticism because I love seeing the fireworks, but they literally are so close, and when they go up past my head, I always feel like they're going to come right down on top of me. And I remember one of the years I did it, I was hanging with one of my really great friends, Mike Maddich, and I don't think he watched the fireworks that much because he was too busy laughing at me, because we'd be standing next to each other, and then when he'd look over, I would literally be 4 or 5 steps back. And then he noticed that every time they lit up a firework, I'd get further and further back. And he just was killing himself. And I'd like, Mike, stop this. This is serious. I enjoy the fireworks, but I swear everyone's going to fall right on me. I don't know why I think I'm a fireworks magnet, that they're just going to come on top of me, but I just was. Anyhow, Mike had a good time. So being an entertainer, I'm just happy I entertained someone. A couple of summers after that, they were going to do it again, and I'm excited about the fireworks, but I always have this little underlying fear of, I'm going to make myself look like an idiot again, and I'm going to do the whole, stepping back and stuff, and a friend of mine at my time, Wayne Scott, at the time, he's still a friend of mine, well, he has a wonderful son named Clayton. And Clayton is just amazing. I've gotten to see him grow up from like a teenager to just an amazing man. And I always knew Clayton, but that night before the fireworks, we had an amazing conversation where I really got to know him a lot more, and he got to know me. And during that conversation that we had, I mentioned my love-hate relationship with fireworks. And I don't know, he must have been about, I want to say 19, 20 at the time. Just a good-looking, strapping young man, and just, a manly man, but he had a real sweetness to him. He'd hate if he knew I said that, because I think he likes to, I'm a man's man, and he is. I'm not saying he isn't, but I got to see a sweet side to him. So, I told him about my fireworks thing, amongst the many things we talked about that night, and then when fireworks came, we all went to the beach, and, I took my position. I decided I'm just going to not sit with everybody, and I'm going to just be on my own, because I'm going to be walking there anyhow, because I'm going to be taking 5 steps back every time they light one off anyhow. So anyhow, Clayton's a really popular guy. Everybody wanted him to sit with him. All the ladies, the guys wanted to laugh with him and stuff. And he actually, before they started lighting them off, decided to come and stand with me. And he basically kind of just stood half beside me and a little bit behind me so I wouldn't step back. And I always love that. And whenever I think of fireworks, I just think of Clayton, because he kind of just made me like, you're going to watch this. And he wasn't mean about it. He was really nice chatting with me just to make sure. And I always say that, watching fireworks isn't the same without Clayton there, because Clayton was just really nice and just made sure my mind was off the fact that these are going to come down and just blow me up. And I didn't step back, but, and I always will remember that with him. My final fireworks story is, one Victoria Day weekend, I believe it was Victoria Day weekend, they blew off fireworks at the back parking lot of the staircase. And they did an improv show, and then after they were going to blow off fireworks, and they did, and I met a kindred spirit that night. Somebody who was probably just as freaked out as them, though I still think I might have been a little more freaked out. Adriana Lara, I hope she doesn't mind me giving her full name, because she was very old school too, and she, ever since she was a kid, was freaked out by fireworks. So, when they started lighting them off, I wasn't sitting with everybody, and everybody wondered why. They thought I was going through a moody time, this Devlin, moody, and I just said, no, I like fireworks, but I like them from afar. And next thing I know, Adriana is doing the same as me, and she's probably almost farther back than me. And we both explained our love of fireworks, but at the same time, they should be loved from afar. And we see everything, and it was kind of funny because we laughed, we cried a little, just because we could see them. Oh my God, they went on top of the staircase. Oh my God, they're going to hit that tree. They're going to hit that hydro line. Everything. It's like you can't even sit back and enjoy them anymore. And it was nice to hang with Adriana and know that I wasn't the only person that deals with this, that other people have this phobia. And that kind of made me feel good due to the fact that I know that there's somebody else, and there's probably more people that love and hate fireworks at the same time, and it always makes you feel kind of good when you're not alone on something. As for fireworks now, I don't run out of my way to go to fireworks displays. As I said, I like the concept of them. I live on the 9th floor of an apartment building, on the top floor of an apartment building, and I get to finally see fireworks from afar. And on any of the long weekends, I can step out and see, like, grand fireworks display that cities are putting on. I have an amazing view of Hamilton and Burlington. And even sometimes on a really clear night, I can even see little lights in Toronto blowing them off. But what's also amazing is I can also see little neighborhood backyards where people bought some fireworks displays and they're probably gathering with their neighborhood. And so if I do want a fireworks fix, I can easily step out on my balcony and just watch. And I don't feel as frightened unless they're blowing them off in our yard and it's coming right up to where we are. But, when I see the neighborhood displays and the big displays, what I think about is some amazing times. Whether it was just the neighbors all watching this or watching the burning school down and us kids cheering, or Mike Manage laughing at me, or Clayton kind of watching my back to make sure that I don't get too freaked out, or Adriana, shaking with me. I have these wonderful memories, and then I think to myself, yeah, I really do like fireworks. Sometimes the best things in life are the things that excite you, but there's a little bit of danger to it. There's a little excitement there as well. there's that scary feeling that goes along with it. And everything that I've done, whether it's doing a performance or doing something that takes me out of my comfort zone, which is a wonderful thing to do, is everything like that. It's the excitement with the danger. It's the excitement with the nervous, scary feeling with it. So when I think of that, I think fireworks are amazing. Just absolutely wonderful. And that's why whenever I'm sitting in my apartment and I'm just maybe watching a movie or on the computer and I start hearing the dark, like I feel the dark going down, and then suddenly pop, 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 pop. Mike and I tend to usually go out and just take a look and enjoy the fireworks. And great memories come back, and that feeling of excitement, scary. Fireworks are an amazing thing, and be careful if you do them this year, but I hope they always stay a part of people's lives. Because from being a very big little kid to being an older man or woman, there's something about fireworks that still, I think, all makes us feel the same thing deep inside. Anyhow, I have an amazing show. I had an amazing time. I can't say it was an amazing show. That's up to you. Send me your comments of what you think. Got lots more coming. I'm going to keep doing this through the summer. I think some people thought I'd abandoned this by now, but I'm getting a lot of people telling me, thank you for continuing this and sticking with it. I plan to stick with it as long as it makes me feel good, and I'm telling you, just remembering stuff like the stories I just told you make me feel so alive, so why wouldn't I do this? You have a great week, and I will talk to you very, very soon.